Welcome to the Bariatric Bros podcast. I'm Mike Alley. I am a foodie and now a former big guy after having bariatric surgery. So I started a podcast, just like everybody else. Hey, happy to have you along today. Got an exciting lineup for you today. Of course, we got our Bariatric Bro shout out coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to be having a great conversation with a new friend and a great bariatric bro from Australia. Yes, our first international interview. And we're going to be taking a trip back to the Bariatric Bros test kitchen and trying out some new protein bars. So in the meantime, I hope you will follow us. We're on all the social media at Bariatric Bros. So Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all those places. And of course, our website, it's easy to get to, bariatricbros.com. It's just that simple. Had a pretty good week this week. I really haven't caught you up in the last few weeks on what's been happening in my life, but food process has been going pretty good in this bariatric journey. If you're new to what we're doing here, I'm now about 14 months post-op from having the gastric sleeve. I've dropped 138 pounds. I've been kind of maintaining for about the last month, kind of hit this shelf. I'm not really concerned about it, but I want to make sure that I'm staying on track and not falling back into old habits, especially during this time of COVID. It can be a little tricky being at home all the time, being very close to being able to eat at any point that you want to, unlike being in the office or on a regular schedule. So I'm trying to watch that, take my time with things, make sure that I'm following that. We're going on vacation this week, my wife and I, so I'll let you know how it goes. All right, let's get to our Bariatric Bro shout out this week. This is a neat guy that I have been following on Instagram. His name is Justin, and on Instagram, he goes by Fluffy Guy Fitness. You probably already know who I'm talking about if you're into Instagram and the bariatric community. He also has a TikTok. He's Senior Fluffy Guy, so you can find him there too. Justin is amazing. So he got sleeves back in April of 2019. He's down 160 pounds. But here's what I love. His Instagram is so full of positive vibes. He's always encouraging others. He is funny, which of course I love. And he's a great motivator. He was losing weight for years, trying different things before he had bariatric surgery, and of course has dropped a lot of weight since then and is toning and is into working out. But I just really love the way he puts out the positive vibes, and he's not afraid to have some fun and poke some fun at himself, especially if you check out his TikTok. It's pretty cool. And I must admit, I connected with him because on one of his posts, he put that his favorite meal was pizza with a side of pizza dipped in pizza. And that's kind of me too. So anyway, Justin, you're getting our Bariatric Bro shout out this week. In our show notes is the links to his Instagram and TikTok, so you can find him there and follow him and celebrate our Bariatric Bro this week. By the way, if you know someone who you think should be one of our Bariatric Bros shout-outs, you can always email us. It's bariatricbros@gmail.com, or, of course, hit us up on a DM on any of our socials. My conversation with a Bariatric Bro this week is with a great guy. His name is Brett Edwards, and he lives in Melbourne, Australia. Found him in the bariatric community on Instagram, as I found many of my bariatric bros, and really came to love what he's doing on social. He is such a positive guy. He is always putting out helpful information, and there was just something about him, and I said, I got to talk to this guy. I got to find out more about his story. So I started by asking Brett if he's always been a positive, happy guy.
Nope. I been very, 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 very down. Probably not as low as some, but I've hit my rock bottom, and I had to make my way back. Back in 2012 was the last time I actually injured my knee pretty badly. I actually filmed a commercial for Jenny Craig. I was going to do like spokesperson for them, and they were following me and making sure everything was going all right. Then I done my knee again, and then I said, "Don't worry about it. I'll get a surgery. We'll get it fixed." And then the weight just kept coming on and coming on. I was like, don't worry, I'll lose it, I'll lose it. And then the 55 I lost, I put back on 60 kilos. And the pain level used to be, I'll give you an example. I used to go grocery shopping, do one aisle, pay, go sit in my car for 10 minutes to rest because my knees couldn't handle it, get up, do another aisle, come back out, sit in the car. It took me 2 years to lose. I put it back on in like 8 months. So, and that was my own fault. Like I never accidentally ate a pizza. It had happened. I ate it. So, so it was, yeah, whoops, I tripped over and that Big Mac fell in my mouth. Yeah, so I've never blamed anyone for anything. I got myself in that situation, and that's why now I try to be as positive and happy as I can, because I've hit my rock bottom, and I'm a big believer you have to hit yours before you can start putting out the sunshine, putting out the rays of light for people. I'm never going to pretend that I understand what you're going through. It's you. It's your life. You're doing what you do. And for me, I can only listen to what you're saying. I can only try and put a little bit of sparkle in the day for you. That's all I'm trying to do.
Well, Brett, I can say that you've definitely brought some sparkle into my days, and I'm sure you've done it for a lot of other folks as well. Now, from your heaviest weight, you've dropped like 179 pounds, which is almost 82 kilograms. What is your goal weight? Or I guess I should ask, do you have a goal weight in mind for what you're doing?
Yeah, when they always ask what's your target weight, I'd never put a number there, because a lot of people I found were putting a number there and they weren't getting it, and it was frustrating for them, and I think it played a mental game on them big time. So for me, I was like, hey, the clothes fit better, I feel better, I can walk more than 200 meters. It's going good. I'm going good. I'm going forward. I'm moving forward. So it was more health than anything. As long as I felt better, I was okay. And I think my last checkup last year, one of the doctors said, "Oh, you should get to 80 kilograms." And I was like, "Lady, if you knew how much muscle mass that I'm growing on my body right now, I'm not getting to 80 kilos. There's no way." I do a lot of weight training, and that was to avoid a lot of loose skin around my upper body and all that, because I thought I'll try and fill it out with muscle instead of, like, I've got loose skin obviously, but I found doing the weight, because I love weight training. Before, when I was bigger, I was doing powerlifting. I was lifting some heavy things, which was ruining my knees and hips and arms and everything as well. My mum tells the story that when I was a little kid, I used to pick up chairs going, "Look how strong I am." She used to think I used to love lifting things and playing sports and all that stuff. And then as I got older, I had a few injuries from my body, and my body just fell apart in my mid-20s, and I just never recovered. Like, I still try to train, still try to eat right, and I just kept gaining weight. And training for me, I've been training for 10 years, I reckon. I was at the same gym. But for me, I just love the physical aspect of training, because I played Aussie rules football. I love competition. I love being challenged. And the gym for me and training for me is my meditation. I've said it heaps of times. For me, I sit there, put my headphones on. I don't see anybody else. I don't look at anybody else. I don't care what anyone else is doing. It's just me doing what I've got to do to clear my mind. And back then I enjoyed it, but now I enjoy it 1,000 times more, because I can do things that I normally, like, I literally, this year was the first year I jumped on a row machine. I haven't used the row machine because my knees and hips weren't going to work that way. But now I was doing, like, 3 miles on it, like, just for fun, because I could challenge myself like that. So that was, for me, it's for the physical aspect of just getting out and training. I've always done it, and now I can do it even better.
And seeing a number of videos, I know that you do some pretty solid workouts just with the equipment that you have sitting right in your house and on your back terrace where you have your workout set up. But that also leads me to this other thing that you've been doing, which I think has been so cool, a real give back to folks who are just starting out, maybe on their fitness journey through bariatrics or even not, just losing weight. And that's this thing you do called the 12-minute workout. How did that start? How was that born?
I was sitting in my lounge room, and I'm like, and I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, I've got no equipment, so I don't work out. I can't use anything. I can't do anything." And I look around, I'm like, the chairs are equipment. There's a bottle of water. That's equipment. You don't need anything. And because we have our brain is set that sit on the couch and do nothing because we have no equipment, so that's our excuse. So I decided, all right, I'm going to do 12-minute exercises because we're bigger, we're bigger, our joints are no good, low impact. 12 minutes of movement it's not a heap, but it's way more than what you used to do. Guarantee it. As long as it's a start and you actually can move. Because I did a Zoom one last weekend with some ladies in Australia. I was doing stuff and they're like, oh, I've never moved like that before. I said, because your muscles have never moved like that. You've never lifted your knee higher than 3 inches off the ground. So now we're moving it higher, and you're going to feel sore in different spots because you need to loosen them up. You need to open them up, and that will create more movement, and you'll be able to do more stuff eventually. What's the biggest issue people come up with? I don't have time. I don't have equipment. It's too hard. I can't do it. It's not feasible. And then I come on and go, oh, here's 12 minutes. You can do that with the chair. I've always been a believer in, don't say you can't do anything unless you've actually physically tried it. Because people say, oh, I can't do a push-up. I'm like, all right, why can't you do a push-up? Oh, look, I just can't. There's no strength in my body. So I'll send them a video on how to work on to get to be able to do a push-up. Start on the wall, then start on the bench, then start on a chair. Then you get lower, 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 and then eventually you do a push-up. You just have to work at it and keep going at it and not just go, I just can't do it. You just have to try these things. You just have to push yourself and just try it. Because you don't know, that old saying, what happens if I fall? What happens if you fly? Who knows? Just take the leap, jump, do it. And that's my big, like on my feed every morning. Good morning, smile, happy, be. I'm always like that because that's what I need. I need that. I need someone to say that to me. So I say it for me, but I give it to everyone else.
Well, I know I really appreciate the give back that you do, not just with your personality and your positivity and how real you are, but with things like the 12-minute workout. It's why we always share it every time on the Bariatric Bros page, just because we want more people to be able to get moving and to do things, especially if you're losing this weight. It helps to get yourself moving more than just walking, to get these joints, like you said, that may not have been active for a long time, doing more stuff than they've done in the past. And during this time, especially with COVID, it's been, I know, difficult for people. I mean, in some ways, it's been easier for folks to have more time to do things and try to start doing things. But in some ways, it's also been more difficult. I mentioned a little earlier that I've been watching myself graze a little bit more, and I've really got to be careful because I'm in a home office and the kitchen's right there, and it's really difficult. And you in Melbourne right now, you guys are in full lockdown. Like, you can only go outside like an hour a day. And so are you having any difficulties right now with this lockdown and how it's affecting you?
Yeah. For me, I've actually recently come to the conclusion that something's out of control. So I look back at the last few weeks, I'm like, I've been grazing, I've been binge eating, like at nighttime, because I live alone. I go to work, I come home by myself. Like I said, the cupboard's there, and like I said before, I never accidentally ate extra cashew nuts, but I ate it because I was bored on the couch. So I recently just downloaded a book called The Binging Brain, and I'm going to read it over the course of the next few days to just look at it and see what can help me see where I'm going. So that's another big change in my life, is that I've noticed that I've caught it before it got out of control, I think. Mm-hmm. I've seen it, I've acknowledged it and gone, okay, I need to really look at things and work backwards. Because I have signs on my wall, like I got, you're not hungry, you're bored. There's signs on my fridges and stuff like that. So I do all that. I have a goal board, I have all this stuff, and I look at it every single day. So I try to stay as best I can, even though, because when you're alone, you said it in your first podcast, you're a secret eater. You just eat because no one's watching. No one keeps you accountable. So I'm teaching myself how to notice what I'm doing, the bad things, or not the bad things, but I'm getting a little bit out of control, going back to my old habits, which is one of the things. You have surgery on your stomach, not on your brain. So you need to fix your brain. And that's what I'm trying to do over the next few weeks. You got to love it. You got to enjoy your food now. Back in the day, we used to sit down, eat a meal in 10 seconds, and move on with the day. Now it takes 20 minutes to eat something. So you get to savor it, you get to eat it, you get to take, what's that got in it? Has that got paprika in it? What is that? And you get to discuss the food, and it's better. Much better lifestyle, I think, anyway.
So along that line, Brett, I saw on your Instagram just the other day that you are going to be going vegan or trying vegan?
Yes, I'm going to give vegan a go for a week just to mix it up. One of these meal places, they make the meals for you. 7 vegan meals, $49. And I said, that's 14 meals for me. So I go, that's done. So I booked it in and I get it delivered on Monday. So because I love vegetables, I do. I really like vegetables. And I'm vegetarian. I eat vegetarian maybe twice a week just because I like it. And so I thought I'd give it a go, see what it's all about. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I have no issues with it, and I'm going to try it, and I'm going to let everyone know what it's like.
All right. Well, we're going to look forward to following your Instagram and checking out how the vegan meals go for that week. By the way, we're going to have Brett's Instagram handle in the show notes, so you can go there and find it and follow him, and you can see how well that vegan stuff goes. Brett, you mentioned something in there about not having issues with any food and trying different things and loving all kinds of things. Did you have any? I've been blessed during this time of after the surgery. I've really not had a struggle with any particular types of food, but I do know that certain people struggle either with certain types of food or food in particular. Did you have any trouble with any kinds of food, or do you still have any trouble with any food?
I used to eat a banana every day. After surgery, I couldn't eat any bananas. For me, that was my one thing that I couldn't eat. Now I can eat them. But the first 9 months, 10 months, I was like, I can't, because I had one, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was like, this is not going down right, I didn't feel right. That was out. But everything else I could eat anything. It's all good. I've had no issues. So, yeah, pasta and rice I don't eat anymore because that expands in your stomach. So you're thinking you're eating the right portion, and then it expands, and you're like, oh, this is painful. So you have to go through and find the alternative. So I go chickpea pasta and all that kind of stuff that just works better, digests better. And the whole process is testing, trying. This is why I'm doing the vegan thing. Testing and trying and seeing what other things you could consume, because I can't eat the same thing over and over again, even though I do Monday to Friday. But I would like to have some variety in life. You can only eat small things, so you may as well go top shelf of everything. You don't need to bulk buy anything. You just, I'm going to try that, I'm going to try that. Top shelf everything. And I've literally done that. I go to the best butcher and buy the best meat. Because my shopping bill's $60, $70 a week. And the amount of money you save from having the surgery is outstanding, because I didn't realize how much I was spending on Uber Eats and takeaway. And then you're like, why do I have all this money left over? Oh, that's right. I didn't pay $40 for a burger to get delivered.
It is truly amazing to see the money that you save by not eating convenience food, either making it yourself or just eating smaller meals because you're spreading them out over time. It's one of those things I don't think is talked enough about, and that is budgeting after bariatric surgery. We talk about the cost of it, but then afterwards, making sure that you have it in your head that you can eat the right foods, that you can eat some top shelf foods, as you mentioned, and actually plan for that to actually save you money when you're doing this program. It's really cool. And I know for you, saving that money is important. I'm going to take a little left turn here from bariatric stuff, because one of the things I found very interesting that I wanted to ask you about was anybody who follows you for any length of time finds out very quickly that you love Disney, everything Disney.
Yeah, I've been to Disneyland 6 times. We have a hardware store in Australia called Bunnings.
Okay.
And every guy goes to Bunnings and buys their hardware. I've been to Disneyland more times than I've been to Bunnings. And I tell people that, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's just, I prefer to go there than anywhere else. So I've traveled to the US a lot. I used to work at summer camps over there. Growing up, I always wanted to go to Disneyland as a kid, but financially we weren't in the situation to go anywhere. Growing up, I was like, I'm going to work as hard as I can to make sure I get to Disneyland at least once in my life. I loved the movies. I loved everything about it. I went once and I was like, I got to go back. I got to go back. And I got to go back. So I go. I'm actually meant to be in California right now. Mm-hmm. I'm meant to be working at the summer camp I used to work at this summer, but obviously that's not going to happen. And I was actually meant to be in Disneyland next week, but that's not going to happen, obviously. So But yeah, my love of Disney is forever. I love watching the old Disney and the new Disney. Some I need to be emotionally ready to watch it because if I have to watch Up again, I've always said Up has got a better love story in the first 15 minutes than Twilight had in 4 movies. So it just it's just not, it gets me every time. So I remember taking my nephew to see The Good Dinosaur, and he was younger then, and we're sitting there, and there's two ladies next to me over here. They're crying, I'm crying. He's looking at me, shoving popcorn in his face, going, "What's wrong with you? I thought you were a man." I was like, "You don't understand."
That's all right. You'll teach them. They'll get with the program soon enough, and I'm sure they're going to love it as much as you. Brett, I want to thank you so much for spending some time with me today. This conversation has been great. And again, I just want to thank you for not only the way that you are real with people, not just your social life, like your social media life, like showing them the best of everything, but you talk about when you're down, you talk about when you're struggling, and yet you keep a positive attitude. You keep encouraging people and lifting them up and being so real about all your experiences. And it has encouraged me, and I know it's encouraging so many others.
I'm just trying to be the person that I would need 5 years ago. I'm just trying to be that person. I know 5 years ago I would have needed someone out there saying, "Hey, smile because it's free." I need someone out there saying, "Get up, do something, just move, do something, just smile, just look at the better things in life. Look at all the little things," because I tell people all the time, a bad moment doesn't make a bad day. It's just a bad moment. And if you focus on that, you can always say, "Oh, I had a bad day." No, you had a bad 5 minutes. That's all you had. The rest of the day was 99% of your day is just normal. It's just flat. And then you have a bad moment or a good moment, and that makes it a good day or a bad day. So you just need to look at it. Hey, yeah, I'm in lockdown. I've got all this stuff, but I'm healthy. I've got a job. I've got a family that loves me and rings me every day. I've got Instagram people on Instagram I talk to constantly who are just like, I get messages nearly every day saying, "Hey man, thank you for, you brightened my day up this morning. I was feeling down, and then I saw your message and it made me smile." And I'm like, that's why I do that.
What a great conversation with Brett. I hope that you really got a lot out of that. I know I did. It was so wonderful to have the time to talk with him. It was kind of interesting because, of course, we're about, almost 14 hours different in time zones. So I really appreciate him kind of staying up late to talk to me. We've got Brett's connection info in the show notes, so you can find him there on his Instagram and check it out. And, of course, we're always sharing his 12-minute workout. You can find it on our Instagram as well when we share it, and he posts a new one almost every single week. Well, is that time again? Yep, we're going to try something new in the Bariatric Bros Test Kitchen, so let's head upstairs. This edition has us doing a product I found on Instagram and ordered it. The ad came up. It looked like a really good deal. They are Atlas bars, okay? Next generation protein bar has arrived. We shall see. It was cool. There was 6 bars in the box as a first order. It was like $10 off and free shipping, so it cost about $10 to get it, and it came pretty quick. So I'm excited to try it. It is keto, high protein, adaptogen powered. I have no idea what that is. I haven't read anything on that. Non-GMO, no gluten, no soy. So if you're dealing with allergens, this might be a good option for you. Atlasbars.com. We'll see if they like our plug after we try the bars. So there are 6 bars in the box. This is the sampler box. Peanut butter chocolate chip, chocolate cacao, mint chocolate chip, vanilla almond chai, and peanut butter and raspberry. Interestingly enough, in the bottom of the box is a little message. I didn't read this because I hadn't taken the bars out yet, and it just says they're hungry for our feedback. One honest review can make a world of difference to their small growing business, thanking for support with their phone number. So here you go, Atlas. We're going to give it to you right now. Going to start with the chocolate cacao, and I got to tell you, when you open it up, nice smell factor. You know, a lot of your taste is right up here in your nose. It's a good looking bar. Looks just kind of like a regular chocolate bar. These bars are dense. It's a nice chocolate. It's not sweet. It's definitely chewy. It's like a thicker fudge. but definitely a chewy bar. I tell you what, it's heavy too. I think you're definitely going to feel it after you eat these. The chocolate's nice. It's mild. It's more of a mellower chocolate fudge cookie consistency, but again, very dense and thick and chewy, which I kind of enjoy. Okay, now the peanut butter chocolate chip, again, beautiful nose factor. As soon as you open the package, you get a very nice smell of fresh peanut butter, and it looks beautiful. Love the chocolate chips in there. This is not as dense as the chocolate cacao. A little chewier, but it still has a nice meaty texture to it in the sense of you're going to feel it. You're going to chew it. Nice feel. It's interesting. The peanut butter smell is stronger than the peanut butter taste, but I really like it. It's nice. Now the mint chocolate chip. Again, beautiful texture, lovely smell. As soon as you open it, that mint just pops you right in the nose. You know, I am not the biggest fan of chocolate mint. It's not like my go-to, but if you have Jones for like Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies, this will do it for you right here. Yeah, great mint. Chocolate's nice, chewy. Each of the bars is a little of that like fudgy, chewy cookie consistency. Oh yeah, this is good. I was very interested to try the vanilla almond chai just because it's not something I would normally eat. I might drink one, but I wouldn't eat one. So I'm very interested. Great smell. Kind of looks a little like toffee or caramel color and has a little bit of the vanilla and chai mixture together. It's a really nice nose on it. I'm having trouble telling you about all the flavors. It's so neat. The vanilla is not overpowering. It's there, and you've got that chai underneath. I've got to look to see what else is in that. Okay, they just list it as natural flavors. I don't know what the spice mixture in there is, but I tell you, with a good cup of coffee, holy mackerel, this could be amazing. It is very nice. It's probably the lightest of the flavors overall that I've tried so far, but I really enjoy it. It's a nice, thicker, fudgier cookie kind of chew. It just smells so good. Like this one a lot. All right, now time for the almond chocolate chip. The bar on this one has a little different texture on the outside. It's less glossy than the others, and I'm wondering if that's going to affect the taste. Not as much nose on this one as the others, but it's more almond and less chocolate, so you don't normally get a big nose on an almond cookie. Texture on this one is a little different, a little drier than the others. I would definitely need to drink something with this. It's really drying out the mouth really quick. Flavor's okay. It's probably, of everything I've tasted so far, the least flavorful in its profile. A little bit of almond in there, and you get a little bit of the chocolate chip. It's nice. It's not my favorite. Now, I hope I've saved the best for last. I've been looking forward to this one because this is the peanut butter raspberry, which they've described as their take on a PB&J. And I got to tell you, I love me some PB&J. So again, this has less of a glossy texture, more of a firmer texture from the outside. Let's try it. This one's more of the texture of the almond bar in the sense that the peanut butter is a bit drier. Raspberry punch really comes out right away from the first bite. Not only do you smell it, but you get that nice hit in your mouth. It really does. It's got a peanut butter and jelly flavor to it. It really does. This is another one that I would definitely want a glass of milk or something else with. The texture is a bit drier than the others. But, wow, the raspberry flavor. Yeah. Okay, that one works. By the way, for those following the macros on this, all of the bars are in that 200 to 230 range as far as calories go for one bar. The protein is about 15 grams on most of them, 2 grams to 3 grams of sugar on most, and net carbs go from 2 net carbs to 5 net carbs. But I got to tell you, for a great protein bar, a nice meal replacement for you, I got to give thumbs up to the Atlas bars. My favorite probably are going to be that peanut butter raspberry. Really love that one, the PB&J vibe. Actually, I like them all. I think probably just ranking my least favorites, probably the almond chocolate chip. I wouldn't turn it down, but it's just the least flavorful of all the bars to me. I'm going to tell you, Atlas, I think you did a great job here. So if you're looking for something on the go, you want to check them out. They're at atlasbars.com. We'll put their link down in the notes here so you can find them. But there you go. I think the Atlas bars are a definite win, especially if you can get that cool discount like I did. So that's it for this edition of the Bariatric Bros Test Kitchen. We'd like to hear from you. You can make a comment down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're on the podcast, you can also email us. We're at bariatricbros@gmail.com. Let us know if there's a product you'd like us to test. If there's a recipe you'd like to send us, we're going to be making some things soon and trying them. This is what we do, so we'd love to hear from you. Before we go this week, I want to remind you that we are doing the Walk from Obesity. We've got the Bariatric Bros Podcast Walkers team that is assembled right now. You can find the details in our show notes and a link to join us. The walk is September 26th, and it's raising money for obesity research and funding for education and more about obesity in the United States. So love for you to be a part of that. You can join our team and let's walk together from obesity and help others get healthy just like we are doing. I hope that you'll take a few minutes and share what we're doing here. Share this podcast out with your friends who are in the bariatric community, especially those bros. We really are here for you, but we're also doing this for everybody. So share it out via our website at bariatricbros.com. Follow us on all the social media at Bariatric Bros. And of course, wherever you're listening to this podcast, you can follow us or subscribe. If they've got a review feature, we'd love for you to give us a 5-star review and put a few notes in there to help others find this important information and fun that we're out there doing every single week. And of course, if you'd like to support the show, I've got a link for that in the show notes as well. That's it for this week. I'm going to catch you the next time right here on the Bariatric Bros Podcast. I'm Mike Alley. You have a great week. And remember, keep living that bariatric life and eating like men.